Boom. There we go. Look at that. Now we're cooking with gas, as it were. Do I have? Yes, I do. All right. Save that one. Then close that one. Let's get a whole thingamajigger going, huh? Oh, we got to start up the thing. There we go. Perfecto Patronum. All right, let's start a new one of these. And a new one of these. All right. In the Whiskey Wednesday folder. Where is it? There it is. And then we're going to do this Whiskey Jack. Jack. There we go. Perfect. Select the folder. And create. Perfect. All right. We're all set up. We're ready to go. Hello, Heather. Thank you for the rose. Appreciate it. Thanks for the likes, too. We're just going to wait just a couple minutes while people pile in, and then we'll get started. Doing the thing. We got a busy night. We have a busy night. We got Whiskey Wednesday. We're reading an amazing story for an indie author, or at least the first chapter. And then we're doing a duet narration with Shay Strong, where I get to play a real bad guy. So, not a very nice guy. And we might actually have to meet for one section because it's, but you know. Let me pull the text here. There we go. Perfect. Sounds amazing. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We've been so we did a duet last night. It was the Vampire and Fey World one, and then tonight we're doing the story called Southern Bite, which is another interesting tale. And all of them are basically stories from short stories from a compilation of stories written by female prisoners. So there's this nonprofit that goes in. And they teach female prisoners how to write. And then, as a result, the first volume comes out, and we're doing the audiobook for it. So, gonna be awesome. And all the stories are fantastic. So, Amanda, how's it going? Thank you for your service. Absolutely. Thank you. And our author tonight, I think, is also a veteran as well. So. And then I think, yeah. There's these things that like scroll across the top now on TikTok. Does that get in the way of the thing that tells you to type in book and author? Like, should I bring it down a little bit more? Thanking the author as well. Absolutely. No, it doesn't get in the way of it? Okay, cool. It's good. All right, awesome. Because I can't quite tell, because I know like my screen's a little different from like the view screen, because when I kick it out to put it on the tubes of view, it looks a little different, but it's all behind it. Okay, cool. Awesome. Awesome. This story's going to be good. I love it. Yep. And then it goes to this down here, right? Oops, did I scroll too far? Nope. Right there. Yep, okay, cool. Making sure I'm on the right spot for when we start. And I think the author said he'll be here as well, so we'll wait for a little bit. See if he drops in. Finished all the editing from last night, too, just a little bit ago, right before I had to make dinner. So, I'm on a roll. I'm caffeinated. Almost completely. Finish up my caffeine. I'm on a roll. Ready to go. Book! That command's working, right, Shay? And there's Shay. Speaking of Shay, so right after this, that's my duet partner there. We're going to get real southern tonight. Yeah, it's working. Okay, good. And it like puts the link down at the bottom as well. Brice Chandler, the author of the amazing story that we're going to be reading the first chapter of tonight. Hello, good sir. You excited? You ready? I'm excited. I know there's like a little bit of a delay too. Super excited. Thanks for doing this. You are welcome. Thanks for submitting your story. Take some courage putting your, your babies up there to get read out. I could butcher it. You never know. Could be a terrible experience. So it takes a little bit of bravery, right? It's cool. Like, I remember starting doing the Whiskey Wednesday thing, and I wasn't originally on TikTok. I was on other platforms, of which we cannot mention here. They might be purple. They might be red. And it was like a cool way when I first started doing like audiobooks of like getting practice. Because, hey, if you're an author, send me your first chapter. I'll read it for free and give you a little promo file. No specification on genre. So I got to practice all these different genres. And it's been super rewarding for me at this end too. So I have some people like ask like, why do you do it for free? Well, why not? I'm getting stuff out of it too. I'm getting the practice of these different genres, and I get to read cool books. And plus, it expands my TBR. Right? What's to lose here? It's a win-win. So it'll be great. Yeah, it's gonna be good. I like this story. I like this story a lot, dude. It's good. And this is just the beginning. And will we cliffhang them? Of course. With enough whiskey, everything. Exactly. You got it. Welcome. You are now part of the club. It only gets better the more whiskey you drink. And I have a special whiskey we're going to be having here to go at the end. At the end, we got to do it. And just a little sip for me tonight, because I got to do another narration bit right at the end. Although, if I'm a little scraggly for that part, it might be better. So maybe, I don't know about you, Shay, but maybe I should just pound it while we, do the duet narration. I'll just get whiskified and, it'll be better. I'm sure there'll be no issues as a result. Nothing bad could happen. Okay, yeah. Boom, boop, boop, boop. I don't think there's any... Let me see here. Nope. There is not. Pound it. Right. Just get sloppy drunk while you narrate. Hey, it's your time. Say your line. It'd be terrible. It'd be a terrible experience for everybody involved. All right. There we go. All right. I think we're all set up and ready to go now. We're good. All right. Okay. And one more time, a quick reminder to up at the top, if you type in !book or !author, you can find out a little bit of information about both. And let's say we get to the end of the first chapter and you're like, I have to acquire this book. I have to read this book. I'll leave a link down at the bottom of the !book so that you have a direct link to it so you can find it. and tell the TikToks, our lovely overlords that we love so much, stop me from doing that. I'm going to do that every time. So just so you know. All right. Let's take one more sip of coffee, maybe a sip of water. We'll get into it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Shay. For the heart. Mm-hmm. And test. Test. Cool. We are good to go. No. Don't do that. Okay. Almost kicked the power cord. That would have sucked. Just everything. Okay. And we'll be starting in 10 minutes after I reboot everything. That would have been bad, okay? All right. So, we are going to be reading the first chapter of Whiskey Jack by our author here in the chat, Brice Chandler. This will be Chapter 1, Lost. Chapter 1, Lost. Florida, Part 1. Jack Criley's trembling hand smeared blood across his face as he rubbed his pulsing head. The other hand, steady and calm, squeezed the grip of the .45 as he stumbled out of the house in a plume of black smoke. The trembling hand fumbled in his shirt pocket, finally clenching a busted cigar. It didn't feel like his hand, but nothing felt right. His body moved and reacted on its own as if it were being controlled by the subconscious. His mind drifted away, watching someone else below. The world was a void, absent of sound except for a constant ringing and the haunting memories. It was a self-centered place that he referred to as going internal, and he was lost in it. The shaking hand thrust the cigar into his unresponsive mouth. I need it to calm down. His consciousness returned. The cigar fell from his parted lips once the hand had searched his pockets and discovered his lighter was missing. Instead, fingers damp with blood grasped the glass neck of a pint of whiskey stashed in his cargo pocket. His thumb spun the lid off, sending it to clatter along the walkway. Warm liquid fueled his eyes with scorching tears as he drained all that was left. You've got to do something. Anything is better than nothing. Then her voice echoed in his mind. Daddy? Love you? His daughter's whisper wrenched his heart. He shattered the glass bottle on the walkway in one violent motion as his feet shuffled into the grass. His conscious mind raced through the decisions that had led to this point. Why? That question burned in his mind. It consumed him. Was there another way? Why couldn't you figure out another way? The damning question always led back to why. You're not like us, his wife had said. We're different. The whiskey rolled and soured his stomach. There had to be another way. You stupid bastard, he whispered. The world spun, and his feet fought to keep him from toppling over. His mouth ran dry, and the empty hand brushed his lips before he realized the bottle was gone. Phew, not too late. No, you're not too late, Chef Sugar. We just started. And thank you for the follow there, Mike. Michaela almost messed that up. Yippee! What was gone? Creatures raged toward... What was gone? Creatures raged toward him from the quiet homes. Dozens crashed out of windows and doorways. But he didn't care. Fuck 'em. Fuck me too, he growled through clenched jaws. His steady finger caressed the trigger. It itched to kill something. Tears rolled down his cheeks as all his mistakes played over and over like a song on repeat. It replayed each step up to this point, trying to find another way. But the end was still the same. He had murdered his wife and little girl. Fury threatened to blind him as he stalked out to meet the creatures. His mind pushed deeper into memory, looking for answers. There you go, and that's the end. So hopefully you liked it, and if you want to know... I'm just kidding. I'm not going to cliffhang you there. I'm just kidding. It is tempting, though. That's a hell of a start. That would be Dirty Pool. It would make me happy a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Where's Kim? Where's Kim? All right. but we do have a little chapter break there, so I'm going to continue where we catch up in chapter 1. I thought I messed up and said the wrong thing. No, you're good. You're good. I just couldn't help it. Like, it's kind of a thing where, like, since you read, like, the first chapter, or sometimes, like, we would just read, like, the intro or preface or whatever, a preface or whatever, and it's, like, really cliffhangery, which, I mean, it's supposed to be, right? Like, that leads you into the next thing and keeps you wanting to read. So it's like a little, kind of like a little inside joke where every Whiskey Wednesday is kind of a cliffhanger. So sometimes more egregious than others, so couldn't help it. Anyways, back to the story. Earlier that day, exhausted and filthy, he rummaged through the ruined vehicles that were abandoned on the highway. His military service seemed like a lifetime ago. Originally, there had been 3 remaining to survive the dismal fate of humanity. Left alone in a harsh and altered world, they fled from the ghoulish entities that had evolved from the human population. I don't like ghoulish. Let me go back. Left alone in a harsh and altered world, they fled from the ghoulish entities that had evolved from the human population. They hunted aimlessly for any semblance of survivors, but their time together didn't last. In a remote area of Colorado, Jack's last, not lost. There we go. In a remote area of Colorado, Jack's last 2 friends died. Dark circles framed his blue eyes, gazing out from a weather-worn face. In the past, he had obsessed over new ways to build mass and fight the spare fat thickening his midsection. Tight, lean muscle encased his frame, yet starvation gnawed at him from the relentless search for food. His dark hair had grown out and was disorderly. He didn't worry about it. Haircuts and shaving didn't matter anymore. He wore loose clothing scavenged from an old shopping mall. They shielded him from the battering sun as he labored on the scorching blacktop. A .308 rifle rode across his back. A .45 pistol filled his leg holster, and an old military K-bar knife dangled from his belt, now deemed his lucky blade. I don't like that. That was poopy. Let's do it again. And an old military leg holster, and an old military K-bar knife dangled from his belt, now deemed his lucky blade. The knife and plenty of ammo for both guns were always on hand. The need for powerful weapons had come up before on his travels across the country. Weapons and vehicles were the key to survival. Operational transportation was scarce. He favored vehicles that could take him along any path he needed to cross. Once he had fled on a dirt bike from a pack of starving beasts. Dozens of miles blurred past before they gave up the chase. Vehicles like that were dangerous, but they had their purpose. Fuel proved even more elusive. Upon finding a safe gas station, he filled his vehicle along with several spare containers. Operating the pump was a different matter altogether. Sometimes he gave up in frustration, only to discover that siphoning a car's gas tank was easier. His mouth had grown used to the taste of gasoline. Slowly, those methods brought him from San Diego, California, to this city, Jacksonville, Florida. His intent was to find his wife and daughter. Their shining faces ignited unfathomable desires. Abominable. Try it again. Unfathomable. Daughter. Their shining faces ignited unfathomable desire. Daughter. Their shining faces ignited unfathomable. Okay, let's break it into it. Unfathomable. Unfathomable. Break it into 2, even though it's not 2. It'll be easier. Let's see if it works. Daughter. Their shining faces ignited unfathomable. Unfathomable. Daughter. Their shining faces ignited unfathomable desires within his soul. Seeing them again drove him onward. The memory of his wife's tight embrace, which had stayed with him like a heavy weight wrapped around his shoulders weeks after he last left her, kept him alive. I don't like any of that. That's all poopy. Let's try that again. The memory of him onward. The memory of his wife's tight embrace, which had stayed with him like a weight, heavy weight, of him onward. The memory of his wife's tight embrace, which had stayed with him like a heavy weight wrapped around his shoulders weeks after he last left her, kept him alive. His little girl's smile and wondrous bright eyes made him grin along with her. Their absence left a void devouring him. Searching for them was madness, but he pushed on. He knew deep down in his gut they were likely dead, but he had to know for certain. They're all I have left in this world. After that, nothing's left. He checked every vehicle that looked remotely similar to his wife's. A crude curse parted his lips as he rummaged through a burned carcass of a car. There was no corpse or any sign of who the owner might have been. It was the same with most of the other vehicles. The thought of searching hundreds more was overwhelming. The only advantage he had was that she primarily stayed in this part of the city. He had investigated her parents' former residence, hoping to find a clue of where they had moved to, but it looked abandoned for years. His next planned stop was to his old apartment, further into the city, a suicidal prospect. Movement in the tree line caught his attention. His heart sank as he looked back at his vehicle. It was nearly 200 yards away. Great. A shadow passed between the trees around 400 yards from him. Whatever it is, it's fucking huge. He had seen strange mutations of humans and other animals, but nothing so large. Ever so slowly, he melted down into a kneeling position and slipped the rifle from his back. A round was already chambered. He peered through the car window at the trees where he had seen the shadow. The door made a sufficient rest for the rifle as he took aim, waited, and watched. Holy fuck. The sight of the tall Florida trees being brushed aside stole his breath. Something pushed through them like a child walking through overgrown grass. The solid crack of my tummy rumble. The solid crack of my tummy rumble. Where did I leave off? Right there. Grass. The solid crack of snapping tree branches resonated in the humid air. Heavy thuds of footsteps shook the ground as an enormous humanoid emerged. The creature towered 20 feet or more, its heavily muscled frame like a walking tank. And worse, it was almost completely naked, except for a vinyl sporting event. Got it. It was almost... And worse, it was almost completely naked, except for a vinyl sporting event banner. And worse, it was almost completely naked, except for a vinyl sporting event banner that... Why did that sound weird? I think I got it, though. And worse, it was almost completely naked, except for a vinyl sporting event banner. Why is that tripping me up? Sporting event banner. We can do it. Let's try it again. And worse, it was almost completely naked, except for a vinyl sporting event banner that wrapped around its midsection as a loincloth. More of the material wound around its massive forearms and legs. A menacing scowl spread across its warped, bump-covered face. I kind of popped there a little bit. A menacing scowl spread across its warped, bump-covered face. Was it attacked by giant mosquitoes? Giant kind of dropped out. Let me do that again. And then I jumped this a little bit. Let me adjust that. Let's try that again. Was it attacked by giant mosquitoes? Drool cascaded from its gaping mouth. Its large and wild-looking eyes scanned the road. Heavy, labored breaths amplified its threatening posture. Large Large hands squeezed a tree it had fashioned into a club. The scalding Florida sun had tanned its skin dark. The creature stepped out of the trees, sniffing the air. Great, he groaned under his breath. It fucking smells me. Even from that distance, he heard its nostrils sucking in the air like a hound dog tracking a rabbit. It staggered forward with window shut with A. That word's important. Say it. A rabbit. It staggered forward with a window-shattering roar before visually scanning for him. It's trying to scare me out. His heart pounded out a percussion of fear. Damn if it isn't working. Sweat rolled down his face into his beard. Too goddamn hot here. He glanced back at his car nervously. Thundering footsteps made the vehicles on the highway vibrate. The monster was closing the distance fast. This thing must have been on steroids or some shit. Jack's memory shot back to his last day in the military. A Marine he had known. Let's try that again. That's my... Get a little froggy. Military. A Marine he had known attacked him and his former. That's a word. Military. A Marine he had known attacked him and his former companions. That man had been a bodybuilder turned a super zombie. He just used heavy doses. Oh, no, this is internal. Zombie. He just used heavy doses of supplements. If this happens to people using roids, then how many more are there? A shot to the head might take him out. But what if it doesn't? The beast flipped over a distant car with another angry roar. Maybe the ear? Through the rifle's scope, he saw both were calloused over with a severe case of cauliflower ear. Worse, the creature's bald cranium. Cranium, dude. That's not a double-syllable word. I know words. I say them. Sometimes right. Our ear. Worse, the creature's bald cranium looked nearly impenetrable. Its muscles rippled and flexed with every movement as it continued searching. His breath came in rapid gasps. His breathing came in rapid gasps. Its sheer size. Going to have to get it in the eyes and make a run for it. That or in its mouth. No, that's just going to piss it off. The internal debate ended when he realized the giant was heading in his direction. He trembled and licked his lips, but his tongue was too dry to moisten them. He peered through the scope and aimed at the beast while trying to remain hidden. Let's try that again. He peered through... moisten them. He peered through the scope and aimed at the beast while trying to remain hidden. Inhale. The sun blazed down on him, promising a scorching day to come. Exhale. Even the rifle's sights seemed to drip with sweat as he... Nope, I don't like any of that. And that was all poopy. Exhale. And somebody reposted. Heather, thank you for the repost. Appreciate you. And Scarlett, you also reposted. I missed that earlier. Thank you so much. Hello, Scarlett. Nice to see you. Even the rifle. Even the rifle sights seemed to drip with sweat as he prepared to fire. His right eye focused on the advancing target as his mouth sucked in air through gritted teeth. Slowly pulled back the trigger. A deafening blast rang in his ears. He rose with the recoil before the sight settled back down onto the target. The monstrosity covered its face with both hands. Its back arched with its head high, as if it searched... its head high. Nah, it's in the middle of a breath. I'm going to do it from the beginning. Its back. Hands. Its back arched with its head high, as if it search. Come on, man. Hands. Its back arched with its head high, as if its shirt. Wow. It has a shirt, too. Author didn't put it in there, but I'm sure it was there. That's why I said it, right? Hands. Its back arched with its head high, as if its search had turned towards the heavens, and wailed in agony. That was all poop. Let's try that again. Hands. Its back arched with its head high, as if its search had turned towards the heavens, and wailed in agony. The beast had caught the bullet in its right eye. Jack ejected the spent casing and chambered another round. The second bullet spiraled out, looking for another soft spot. Without waiting for the follow-through, he spun around and raced for his vehicle. His feet slapped the pavement as fast as he could make them move. "Don't look, Jack. Don't do it." The creature went silent. He glanced over his shoulder. His second shot had struck the giant in the groin. Luck, or maybe something more, was on his side once again. The shot had dropped it to both knees. One hand covered its crotch, and the other over its eye. It trembled with pain, fury, or both. The creature's remaining softball-sized eye rolled back and forth across the road before zeroing in on him. Their eyes met as tears of blood ran down its face. Strings of saliva erupted from its mouth as it bellowed another roar. It struggled to its feet. "Stupid, stupid, stupid!" The car wavered in the humid air. "Only 100 yards left. I knew this was a bad idea." He heaved as he ran, fumbling in his pocket. He heaved. Bad idea. He heaved as he ran, fumbling in his pocket for the keys. His fingers caught hold of the old grenade pins he used as a key ring. There were several keys on the interlocking circular pins, but only one was the car fob. 50 yards left to the car. Jack hastily spun and squeezed the trigger. The round connected with the monster's shoulder, knocking it sideways in the middle of the The round connected with the monster's shoulder, knocking it sideways in the middle of hurling a car door at him. He dove to the side. The door spun and skipped past with a whoosh and sliced into a semi. "Oh, holy shit, that would have cut me in half. To hell with this!" He glanced at his vehicle. Sweat streamed down his face, burning in each eye. 25 yards to go. Jack staggered to his feet and fired. Each round missed entirely or had no effect. The creature barreled towards him, closing the distance to within 200 yards. 10 yards. The ground rumbled from the giant sprinting. He crashed into the door, fumbling through his beep, 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 beep. He did something. And sprinting. He crashed into the door, fumbling through his pocket for the key fob and smashing the buttons. "Come on! Work, damn you!" With a click, the black Mustang unlocked. Almost instantly he was in the car, jamming his finger into the start button. It roared to life with the first shot. Before he could shift it into gear, a muffled crash drew his attention. Looking up, he saw another car rolling side over side toward him. He stomped the gas pedal. The tires squealed and spun, churning up smoke before they caught and lurched forward. The vehicle turned projectile, crashed into his rear side, and continued down the street as Jack fishtailed from the impact. No time for turning around. Nope. Let's make it more internal. From the impact. No time for turning around. It'll be on me in seconds if I try. He held the gas down, and it headed straight at it. Read words. He held the gas down and headed straight at it. His eyes locked on it, studying, looking for a weakness. Its face was a snarling and blood-streaked image of horror and rage. Since the world turned, he learned that everything, even the undead creatures, had weaknesses. Holding the wheel steady with his left knee, he let the windows down. With his left hand, he aimed the pistol out the window. A smile broke across his face. He couldn't seem to control it anymore. Maybe it was the onset of hysteria, or perhaps he was... That's the neighbor with their loud car. Also a Mustang, though. Funny enough. What a coinky-dink! And he's accelerating out of the neighborhood. All right. Nice. Adding to the realness. Yeah, it was like an added-in sound effect. I didn't even have to do anything. He couldn't seem to control it anymore. Maybe it was the onset of hysteria, or... I'm going to start from there. He couldn't seem to control it anymore. Ah, right there. Okay. As I burp. All right. He couldn't seem to control it anymore. Maybe it was the onset of hysteria, or perhaps he was just a madman from the start. Either way, he knew the effect his maniacal laughter would have on the beast. As they sped towards each other like comets destined to collide, it would be no problem for the creature to see his winning smile, despite blood trickling into its eyes. For a moment, an inkling of doubt leaked into his mind as the giant readied his club, but then its jaw slackened, as if... Incredulity, but then its jaw... Its club, but then its jaw slackened, as if in incredulity. I knew this was going to trip me up. In incredulity. Tongue twisters tonight. Here we go. Some of them I'm just making harder than they are. Its club, but then its jaw slackened, as if in incredulity, gaping slightly before snarling in hate. The beast's rage consumed any remaining common sense. At the sight of Jack's wide, toothy grin, it shuffled forward and charged at him like a bull thundering toward a red cape. When its shoulders dropped like a linebacker seeking blood, Jack started firing. The wind caught the ejected shell casings and hurtled them back into his face. Even against the barrage of scalding brass, he blasted toward the monster's bald head. It was just a matter of seconds until they collided. Then it will be all over. His wincing eyes glazed over with fury, tunneling his vision. "This is it!" he roared. "We'll both die in one shot! To hell with living in this goddamn world anyway!" Then the thought of his wife and his... Let's try that again. Then the thought of finding his wife and children flooded in. Suddenly he jerked the wheel, sending the car away from the rocketing monster. But he pulled away from the game of chicken too late. It barreled through the same back end that the rolling car had collided with. This time the Mustang's back end had collided with. This time the Mustang's back end lifted off the ground, wheels spinning. He laughed wildly as he struggled to gain control of the vehicle and keep it from rolling over. The car came crashing down, bouncing on the shocks as the monster spun. The beast was faster than it looked. Its fist smashed into the other side of the car. The blow shattered the vehicle's rear end in a cloud of fiberglass. The rear window broke into thousands of pieces. Jack unloaded the pistol before grabbing the wheel as the car fishtailed again. He gunned the engine after wrestling the vehicle under control. The monstrosity was tripping over itself to close the distance. It frantically snatched the spoiler, ripping it off as it tried to stop the vehicle. Then he was gone. The sports car was too much for the beast, even with the back end damaged and the rear tires nearly flat. "Keep that as a souvenir, motherfucker!" Jack yelled out the window. It would try to track him, but he would be miles away before it ever could. Its shoulder, along with other wounds he inflicted, had to hurt. The creature wouldn't make it far before giving up. Hopefully. The adrenaline-fueled encounter had ravaged his nerves. "What do we do when our nerves are shot, Jack?" His friend Joe had once told him during the wars, and later when shit hit the fan. "We smoke." Jack nodded at the memory and puffed on a cigar. He pressed play on the malfunctioning screen. Music droned out his thudding heartbeat as he drove down Interstate 95. The Jacksonville cityscape towered in the distance. And that was the end this time. Thank you for the follow there, Tabitha Hillard. Appreciate you. Thank you, Nick, for the Go Popular. You planned it, I'm sure. I did, yeah. I'm sure I did. I did. All right. I might have missed some chat, so if there's anything in there that I missed, bring it up again. It'll be like new for me. Yeah, it was so good. I loved it. I love the, like, right from go, it's super layered and emotional, and you're like, what is going on? He did what? And then we roll right into the action with like a super beast. Like, that's pretty darn cool. When you, I don't know if you're like me, when you read a zombie, like apocalypse type of story, you watch a zombie kind of apocalypse movie, you always want the mutant beast, right? It's like watching Jurassic Park. What do you want in Jurassic Park? You want the T-Rex to mess something up, and there better be some raptors in there, right? Oh, and by the way, the T-Rex better win. You know, like it's that hidden thing that you go to that movie for. So when I go to this genre, that's exactly what I want. So nailed it, my friend. Nailed it. Well done. Well done. Let's see if I missed anything. Thank you for the heart there, Chef Sugar. Appreciate you. Well done. Much respect to you and other narrators. I can't imagine doing that. Dude, this was a fun story. It's a fun story. You know, between all the times that I can't say words, but, you know, other than that, great time. That's just a part of it. It's how our brains work. Or don't work most of the time in my case. But yeah, this one was fun. Also, reminder, like you see up there, if you're just tuning in, and you want to know where can I actually get this book, if you type in !book, it'll tell you a little bit about the book, and more importantly, where you can pick it up. So there you go. Do you do signed copies? Going to edit those out. Yeah. Those won't be in there. I definitely won't leave those in there. Actually, when I'm recording, I do what's called punch and roll. So any of the mess ups, I just roll over the top of. So it's like they never existed. Words are hard, Nick. Words are hard. Yeah. Also, exclamation point, author. A little bit about the author as well. Thank you for your service, sir. Semper Fi. Happy little mistakes. Yeah, it's like the Bob Ross of narration, right? Yep. I can't just draw like another friend next to the mistake, though. It doesn't work in this case. But I could get a little squirrel and like put it in my pocket, though. Anybody watch Bob Ross, or is that just me? Show my age, I think. Did you know that Bob Ross was actually a drill sergeant in the Air Force, I believe? Crazy. That guy was like so nice and soft-spoken. But apparently, he had another side to him. Wow, fact of the day. I know, right? Thank you for your service. Besides live events, working on getting signed copies going. Okay, cool. Yeah. I like doing that when I can. Like if I can buy like the signed copy from an author, because it's cool. One, you have it signed and it's cool. And like the direct sales, I like that. Like I like doing that better if I can. But I know not everybody can. But I went to the Bob Ross Museum. It was fabulous. I didn't know there was a Bob Ross Museum. Where's that at? Now I don't have to learn anything new today. Yeah, you got it done. Fact over. I had no idea about Bob Ross. Yeah. And he used to like rescue squirrels. So there was a couple of episodes on the show where he would bring in some of the squirrels, and yeah, it was pretty cool. He'd show off as like his little friends that he was taking care of and nursing back to health, and then he'd release them back out into the wild. I watched way too much Bob Ross when I was a kid. I always found his painting cool. I don't know, it was just kind of like calming, like watching him. It's fascinating. Like he'd start off with this blank canvas and like paint down like a pink or a blue, and you're like, what is he gonna do with this? And then by the end, you're like, whoa, you know. And it always seemed you're like he would be explaining it, and you're like, yeah, I could do that. He made it look real easy. It's in Muncie. I don't even know where that's at. It's where they filmed the show. I feel like I should know what city that is. I don't even know where that's at. I loved watching him. Me too, Chef Sugar. Like me and one of my sisters would watch the Bob Ross show all the time. Oh, 3 hours. 3 hours south of Chicago. Okay. Cool. Well, I am planning on going to Chicago with a friend. Maybe we'll have time. We probably won't. But that would be cool. Maybe I could plan it out. I think that's worth it. 3 hour car drive? I don't think they'll go for it. I'm thinking about it. They're not going to go for it. I had no idea it was filmed so close to where I live. Crazy. Oh, dude. Well, now you got to stop by there and tell us how it is. You know? And maybe for book 2, if this is a series, you know, he has to hide out in the Bob Ross Museum. It'd be like an Easter egg, you know. No, this was great. Fantastic. Fantastic stuff. Thank you so much again, Mr. Brice Chandler, for sharing your first chapter with us. This was really cool. I enjoyed the read. And I will probably have the replay of it up on, I tried to combine all those into one. It didn't work. On the Tubes of You, probably tomorrow. Just depends on how long it takes to actually download from the app. And then I'll shoot you an email when I have it all edited. I might save the editing of this until this weekend, because this week is kind of frickin' nuts for me in terms of editing. But this weekend, I'll get it all polished up and sent out to you, and you can use it for whatever you want. So there you go. As my thanks to you for submitting your chapter. The museum has a bunch of Bob Ross art. It's great to see in person. Oh, I know. Oh, I want to see. Now I want to go. Like, I want to like plan a trip just to go to the museum. Like, seriously. It's kind of spendy, but so worth it. Is it like a big museum, or is it like, because he had a lot of stuff, because he would paint like a painting, like a reference painting before he did the show, because everything was supposed to be like a tutorial to show you how to do it. So he would paint a reference painting before the show, and then he would have the painting, obviously, that he created during the show. So there was at least 2 for every episode, but sometimes more, because sometimes he would practice certain things before he went and did the actual painting for the show that was going to air. So there might be tons of them. I don't know. But over the years, I'm sure some of that stuff got bought up by collectors, and, you know, so who knows now. But thank you, Shay. And thank you. Oh, it's Chef Sugar. Thank you. But yeah. Bob Ross facts, post-apocalyptic military stories. What more can you possibly want on a Whiskey Wednesday, except for the whiskey? So let's get into the whiskey. Since this was a kind of a special episode, I'm bringing out a special whiskey. It's actually a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, one of my favorites, Old Forester. And specifically, this is the, I believe the 86, right? Yeah, 86. It's the 86 proof. It's got the little blue label. If that means anything to you, I love this bourbon, as it were, bourbon whiskey. Can't go wrong with it. It's just pleasant kind of all the way around. You can use it as a mixer if you want. There's no wrong way to drink whiskey, and if anybody says that there is, don't listen to them. Enjoy it how you enjoy it, okay? That's the right way to enjoy it. You want to add ice? You want to add a little water? Go for it. It's all up to you, but cheers, everybody. Man, I have it in a little fancy Glencairn, too. Way fancier than it probably deserves. Oh, it's so nice. It's just like nice and warm. It's not abrasive. It's just kind of smooth, especially for a Kentucky bourbon. It's got like notes of like vanilla and like little hints of, I think, cherry, but it's just good. It smells good, tastes good. It's pleasant. It's an amazing bourbon. Great pairing with Whiskey Jack. What a fitting title for Whiskey Wednesday. Thanks again there, Brice. All right, so up next, right after this, I'm probably going to take just a little bit of a break so I can, you know, pound water and pull the story up and do that all that fun stuff. Oh, let me save before I forget. That would be terrible. Save. But up next, I'll be doing a duet, actually, with Shay in the chat there. 7:15 is our time? Okay, cool. 7:15 is our time. So we'll be back right around 7:15, and we'll be doing a duet. The story is called Southern Bite. So we're going to get our Southern on, y'all. And maybe we're biting stuff. I don't know. We're not biting stuff. But it'll be a super interesting story. I love the project that all these stories are kind of coming out of. So don't miss that. That'll be 7:15 here in just a little bit. Next Whiskey Wednesday, there will be another Whiskey Wednesday. Next Wednesday, let me pull that one up. All right, here, and I'll let you know what that one is. There we go. It's Eric Larson's Cold Storage. And what is it about? You'll have to tune in next Whiskey Wednesday to find out. Or pay attention to the social medias. I'll make a little video about it, so it'll come up on there as well. But excited about that one as well. Can't wait. I'll see you in a little bit. 7:15. Duet with the very talented Shay Strong. And this is going to be a good story. You're not going to want to miss this one. It's... Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, all the stories are great, but you'll like this one. So stay tuned, I guess. Do you stay tuned to TikTok? I don't know. Check it, because I'll be back on a little bit. Bye, everybody. Thanks for stopping in. See you in a bit. Bye.